Welcome back to News Desk. Of course, it's a live pictures coming from Islands where King Charles is in the country, of course, for a couple of days, just to target a few things that includes youth, climate, sustainability in the country. This is his third event of the day. Initially, he was in State House and then went to Uhuru Gardens. And as you can see there at the moment, he is in Islands. Right, I want us to talk to our reporter, Brenda Zeda Radido, who is following the King's procession. Brenda, good afternoon. What's happening there at the moment? Just bring us up to date with what we're seeing on our screens at the moment.
Good afternoon, Fatia. As you rightly stated for our viewers, what we see are the live pictures of what is happening here at Eastlands, specifically at Huduma Center, Makadara, that is also housing the Prince International Library, a library that helps learners within the Isili area to come and get education for free without paying for anything. So right now, the King and the Queen are making their way into the library just to interact with some of the learners who are eagerly waiting to meet him so that they can take him through the sort of learning activities that they have within this library that is being funded by the British government through the British Embassy here in Kenya. And also here, the King and the Queen are not alone. They have been accompanied by Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja. Also in attendance is the PS for Education, Bailio Cape Sang. They're also in attendance. But then, for of importance as to why this event is being held here today, it is because the British government will be signing an education memorandum of understanding with the government of Kenya, a 5-year education MOU that will cut across the board in terms of institutions of higher learning and also in terms of the UK government funding some of the education activities here in the country. So that is the reason as to why the King and the Queen, that is Prince Charles and Queen Camilla, actually here at the Prince International Foundation Library. But then earlier on, before they made their way here, of course, we've given our viewers the live coverage of what transpired at the Uhuru Gardens, where my colleague Emmanuel To was there giving you the live coverage, a blow-to-blow update on why the King and the Queen were at the Uhuru Gardens, accompanied by President William Ruto. Back then, before they went to Uhuru Gardens, Fatia, we also had the privilege of giving our viewers that live coverage of a State House Nairobi, where the King was. He did a guard of honor right there at State House Nairobi. But then, of course, the press wasn't allowed to ask any question and answer. Neither did the President of Kenya, William Ruto, nor the King of England, King Charles, address the media. But what we do understand and what we're expecting from State House, it is an in-depth briefing in terms of a press release, maybe some of the trade deals that they signed with the Kenyan government. For here, also the live pictures you're seeing right here, we're also seeing the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Musalia Mudavadi, is here, also with the King and the Queen, just also to introduce them to some of the people that they will be meeting here on location where I am right now. But here, the King's itinerary is actually packed. In the evening, there will be a banquet where the King is actually, what we've been told by the UK Embassy, the British Embassy, it is that we expect the King to address the nation at State House Nairobi in the evening. Probably, just maybe, they will be wearing that regalia, the King's regalia, and probably Queen Camilla will be wearing that, the Queen's regalia. And so one of the most important things, Fatia, if I may just inform our viewers, the attire that Queen Camilla is actually wearing is of a significance. And the reason as to why I'm saying it's of a significance, but here, it is because, let me start with that brooch that the Queen is having on her dress. It is that brooch was actually worn by the late Queen Elizabeth. So it's a really important significance, even in terms of the clothes that the Queen is wearing. Remember, Queen Elizabeth became the Queen of England when she was in Kenya following the death of the father, George VI. And so, Fatia, from me, I think it's back to you in studio, unless you have a question to ask.
Thank you for that. Of course, you've given us the details of what has been happening today throughout. We appreciate that. Of course, we're going to be following up on the King's coverage here on KTN News. So far, what we know is the King has been at State House, where he inspected a guard of honor and then he later on went to Uhuru Gardens, which is now newly refurbished. And then, of course, now he is at Eastlands, and Brenda has just told us about that MOU that is to be signed by between Britain and Kenya, and this is with regard to education. So, of course, what you're seeing is just live pictures of what's happening there at Makadara. Right, of course, now I just want us to keep looking at some more details about the King